Hello everybody, it's Woogle with Woogle's Outdoors, and today we're going to make a primitive shelter. Now, a primitive shelter can be made from pretty much anything around your area, wherever you want to set up camp. To me, this looks like a pretty good spot to me. So all I'm going to use in this video is a hatchet, and I have one knife with me. That's it. That's all I'm going to use. I'm not going to use anything else. I don't even have any cordage with me that I'm going to use. But I will show you some cheats in the video that you can use. I'm not personally going to do it, but it's very much so an option for you. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look around my area, and I'm going to notice that there's a lot of dead stuff around here. There's a lot of rocks, and there's definitely a lot of green stuff around here. So that would make for a very good covering for the shed or the shelter I'm going to make. So let's lay my hatchet here on the side and look around. I have all kinds of very good branches I could use for this shelter without even cutting anything down. And that's one thing you want to look for. Try not to destroy the habitat around you if you don't have to. Think about other animals and how they do it. They use the habitat around them for their advantage. Instead of destroying it, why don't we work with it? So I'm going to try to see what I can do about using some of this dead stuff that's kind of alive. That would be strong enough to withstand maybe some showers or something like that to hold me up for at least a night or two. So let's look around and see what we can do, and I'll get back with you then. So since most of my stuff's dead, I am going to cut this tree down here, and I found a perfect tripod right here. It's starting to rain, so let's try to hurry on this. Muscle power. I'm actually going to use all the green stuff on this to use as covering. Let's try to get it done before the rain gets us. Here's the base layer for it. I used a pine sapling as the hold. It's got a lot of give, so it's not going to break it as easy or drop it all at once. I used that one that's planted in down here, and then I've got a bunch of base side walling on it. I don't know the technical term. So now that I have this side complete and I have this much under room in it, it's time to start baffling, which is putting layers of leaves and stuff on it to insulate and prevent rainfall. Just make sure you always interweave through your stablings. It'll make it much more secure, and the wind won't blow your bafflings off in the middle of the night. I'm going to leave the rain topping on that. It won't kill it, just cutting a couple off of it. That'll definitely fix itself, and it'll heal back. We gotta go do that to several more trees, so we don't hurt the environment. To the naked eye, it just looks like a pile of brush until you get to the back here. And then you can see how clearly it has a spot in there. There's two openings. One is kind of draped off. It's entirely rainproof, but it's definitely enough for me to lay down, not worry about the rain too much on my head. I can even drape my legs out that way, and the way I set it up, I've got a lot of rain cover over me where the shelter is. So I've got rain cover over my head plus my shelter cover. This should get me out of the elements for the night. This is also a great idea if you want to stealth camp or anything like that. So this is just a look from the inside. It's a beautiful little piece. Now, here's another idea you can do. Alright guys, so another really cool idea you can do is take some rocks and build a shelter style wall with the rocks from like the very beginning of your shelter opening. Build a wall up and actually start a fire on this side of the wall, and it reflects all the heat off of those rocks and back onto you. Something else you can do that's really cool is heat up rocks before you go to bed. And if you have a trowel with you, like a trowel or something, and you dig out a little bit of your side, you can actually take and put those rocks in the dirt and throw the dirt back over top of those rocks and lay down on it, and that also gives you heat. It's a lot of work to do, but it's only in survival situations that you're really going to want to do that. This style right here is put together in about 30 minutes tops, and it's easy to put together. So if you don't want to carry a tent or a tarp or something like that with you when you're in the woods, this is the way to go if you want to just be that complete minimalist that lives off the land. Other than that, the only thing I could really suggest is make sure you build the wall, give you some heat going, and if you're sleeping directly on the ground, the earth tends to want to suck the heat right out of you, no matter if it's hot outside or not. So what I would suggest for you doing is taking some sort of material that's around you, whether it's leaves or this stuff here, and just kind of layer the inside of your shelter with about maybe that much material of whatever it is. 3 inches, I believe, is what it calls for. And just layer it up, and it will prevent the heat from being sucked out of you. Other than that, this is a great shelter to go into, and I think I'm going to lay down and take a nap. Thanks guys for watching. This is Woogle with Woogle's Outdoors. Like the video because it really helps me out. Subscribe because you're definitely going to want to see more of these shelters in the future. I know you are, so don't even question it. Just go down there and subscribe right now. Oh, and comment down below because I love your feedback, and I've replied to almost every single person I can on there. And if you got a great idea for a future shelter, hit me up and I'd love to see it. Thanks guys. I'm going to take that nap now.